Ricky, welcome. How are you?
Yo, what's happening?
Coming in loud and strong there. Everyone, this is Chill Talk Live every Friday from, I don't know, wherever we are in the world. Right now I'm in Sydney. Ricky's
You're
in Ireland.
upside down. You're upside down, right?
Am I? Good to see you, mate. We are 15 days out from the Dartmoor 50K. How are you feeling? How's this past week been for you?
Yeah, yeah, it's been okay. It's like I'm bigging up the long runs at the weekend, and then I'm having to like take like 2 days of a rest day just so that my niggle settles down. But I did kind of have a breakthrough run yesterday where everything went pretty smooth. I'm hoping to go for a run straight after Trail Talk this evening. Looking to do 20K. Hopefully that's going to go good. Then I'm down the road in the morning to the mountains in Dublin to maybe do 40 or 50K, and then back that up with another long run on Sunday, and hopefully all goes well, you know. You?
You're doing more volume than me. Things were going well, getting back into the flow of it. But yeah, did some strides the other day and left quad just said no. Proper seriously tightened down. Had to go for a massage and the massage therapist here absolutely destroyed my leg. So I was limping around yesterday. Might still get a course recce on Monday on the Trail Australia route, but you can't push it. It's about being able to run, not being able to force whatever's on the schedule. So get out again today. Did it an hour yesterday. Maybe get out the 90 today. See how things are going. But 15 days out, it's a trainer race.
What's the temperature like?
30 degrees.
Nice.
20.
It's not 30 degrees here, man. It was -3 this morning. It's about, I'd say, I don't know, 2 degrees now. So I'm not that keen on putting all the layers on now.
Sounds terrible. Right, let's crack on with the show because we've got plenty to talk about. This is Trail Talk Live. We're here every Friday. You can catch up on Spotify, YouTube, all the podcast players. This week we are starting our sponsorship with xmiles.co.uk. So for those of you who don't know, it is a nutrition store based in the UK. Go to link in bio and get your discount. And it also kicks a little bit back to the show to help Nick and I put this on. But anyway, let's go on with the show. This past week, we've had a lot of contract announcements come through, so we got to tackle that first. And you kind of already knew what was going to happen, but Cody Lind to Terex, it was the announcement that we expected with his father's connection with the team and Emily Hallgood and things. But I think this is a good one because he was with Scott for a number of years, and that just there was no vibes there at all. So Cody Lind to Terex, what do you think?
Yeah, great. Look, brilliant move for him. Fantastic move for him. Yeah, and I seen Emily dropped it in her stories the other day. Like, so they're like really good friends, and yeah, super move for him because he is quality. Scott, look, it is what it is. They're gone now, and he needed something, and he got something pretty good. So I'm delighted for that. That's a super move for him. Super, yeah.
Yeah, big move because you kind of like forgot what he was doing. There wasn't much content around it. The Terex were really like they flew him out, did a photo shoot with the new gear, and it just already looks like way more professional, and that can only help them.
Yeah, look, those brands are doing it. Like they're bigging up their athletes on social media so we can all see them. You know what I mean? And that's what you want. We want to see the top dogs. We want to see what they're doing in training. We want to see what they're doing in racing, and that's what you want. That's what you want to see happen.
Next up, I think the best announcement: Joyce and Jerry to Normal. What a signing! They just
Mm,
signed the Golden Trail Series champion. What do you
yeah.
think?
That's deadly, and I love the way they did it. The like couple of days ago, the silhouette, and it was like who's joining the team, you know. So it was well done. It was well presented, and yeah, it's huge. You know what I mean? She's a superstar in the making, like so. She's gonna crush it.
None of this long-winded, multiple week drawn out stuff like Francesco Pupi or
Yeah.
any of these other ones. This feels nicer. A
Yeah.
few days ago, there was a silhouette dropped on socials, and it just looked okay. That's got to be Joyce. They're just not telling us yet. And then it came out yesterday, I think. So I think that's a good sign. And they're straight away
Yeah.
there at the top of the field.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, it's maybe the way Normal do things, but also the way she would like it done as well. You know, it was like, no, don't make a big deal about it, don't make a fuss about it. Let's just get it done. I got a big year ahead of me. I like it. I like it.
And she must have commanded some money as well because she's the champ.
Yeah.
So I love seeing that, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with her this year. It's an exciting one.
Mm.
Moving on, big ladies announcement, and yeah, just seeing Zach in the chat mentioning Damien Hall. Uh, he also signed with Normal. Wasn't even on the docket to talk
No.
about. He'd
No.
probably still be running a 5-year-old interview anyway. So, big announcement from a group of ladies joining Hoka, who we've got Cora Malcolm, Alison Baca, Lottie Brinks, Jessica Brazo, and Katie Asmith. From a selection of different brands there, any of them stand out for you as noteworthy?
Yeah, Katie, yeah, I'm a fan of Katie, so I was very happy to see her with Hoka, and then yeah, so for me, I was delighted to see that. Like, I actually gave her a DM the other day and just congratulated her on a move, because she was super excited about that move as well. Like, yeah, so delighted for her. But a very cool one, like where they dropped them all at the same time. It was done like there was a cool little thing on Instagram or something where it was just Corinne Malcolm basically welcoming everybody, you know what I mean? Can't wait to train with my new teammates, and all the names just popping up. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, bang, 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 bang. So that's well done on Hoka for grabbing all of them, you know.
I think Cora Malcolm, obviously we dropped that last week.
Mm.
We dropped that one. We knew where she was going to be going because of the apparel that she was wearing on that run with Christina Randall. But Corin Malcolm has obviously got a contract which isn't focused on performance. You know, she's a great voice in the sport, and my hope is that this brings her back together with through Hoka with ETMB,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
can get Kieran Corin Malcolm on the commentary again because that would be the biggest win.
I think it feels like that's what it's about as well. I think it does. You know, it's like it's Hoka UTMB, right? So it's like I think it's everybody's way of like, let's put that behind us and let's move forward, and we'll do it with a bit of grace, with a bit of style, and yeah, that's kind of welcoming Kareem back. I think that's what that feels like. Yeah.
And then a couple of other announcements there, like Lottie Brinks came from Solomon. We know that Solomon have basically trashed and got rid of all of their athletes, especially the North American ones. So that was a great pickup by them. She's had a lot of great results. And Alison Baca from the North Face. And then I was trying to dig into this about Jessica Brazo,
Mm.
Jim's partner, because she's essentially been running in Hoka gear anyway for the past few years, from what I could see. But it must have just been 3 years she was getting by way of Jim.
Yeah, because I would have thought the same. I would have thought she was always with Hoka, like, you know, maybe not on the professional level, but I also thought that she was with Hoka in some shape or form, because in all the gyms, UTMB videos, training camps, anything that came up on YouTube, like Jessica's there in all the Hoka gear, you know. So if she was running for another brand, I couldn't see how she could be doing that, because I know you might have mentioned something to me where she was a different brand, and I said I don't know. I thought she was already with Hoka.
Yeah, no, I think I was getting confused with Erin Clark in that one, with her partner being the other pro, so I forget his name at this minute. But then the other thing I wanted to mention there, coming off the back of Satisfy Mostech ripoff by Nike, this past week we've had Zara Athletics ripping off SOAR. And
Mm.
give me your hot take on this one.
Do you know, I was actually looking. On Zara, because I know that in the trail chat and trail talk, we've mentioned like all the the cool brands doing cool stuff, like the apparel that we like to wear that looks good on the street and also looks good on the track and on the trails. And we mentioned Zara, that Zara were doing some cool things. And then I did go online a few weeks ago looking to buy or maybe have a look at see what they had, and I saw that T-shirt that we're talking about, right? That T-shirt with the logo on the back that is the exact same as the SOAR Nordic collab. Like, the logo on the back of that is the exact same. So to me, it's a complete rip-off, right?
Yeah, it's a strange one, but I think one of the things that highlighted for me was the way Satisfy dealt with the ripoff. They completely spun it into this um hype around the big brand ripping off them, and we know from recent posts and things from our friend Matt at Trail Mix that Satisfy are not a micro business. You
Mm,
know, that last
mm.
year they had 11 million in revenue, and they just kind of painted a funny story around that, and got probably a ton of Mottech sales.
Uh,
I dropped a few reels, and there was like 150,000 views on the reels just because Mottech was doing the rounds and people
y-
were Googling it and
yeah.
stuff. So they got a lot of traction out of that. Soar, on the other hand, they just the designer, he just put out a post on Instagram, which was, you know, essentially saying nothing different than what Satisfy were saying, but no real
Yeah,
impact from that.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't have the same effect at all. It doesn't have it at all. If anything, Satisfy made it better that Nike were trying to rip them off. Do you know what I mean? It was super well done. It was fantastic marketing and strategic sort of planning on Satisfy's part. Whereas in this this won't go anywhere. This won't be talked about. It'll just be sort of like, oh look, they ripped us off and move on. That's as much traction I think as this will get, because it's not Satisfy, it's SOAR, right? And SOAR more serious, more technical, more whatever. Whereas in Satisfy is just another level of like they're not even
Hype.
based on, yeah, it's the hype. Yeah, it's the hype, man. Sure, like I'm obsessed with looking at Satisfy gear, like, because I fall into that trap as well.
uh, we all do. And like, I suppose I can't really ask you if you're interested in the rocker shoe that's coming in spring. You're hardly gonna be picking that one up.
No, no, no. But I'll tell you what the Ghost Fleece we're talking about. I know we're talking about what I like. Satisfyer on cool brand, right? Super cool brand. But they have the Ghost Fleece and the Ghost Fleece with the hood. I love that, and I think that's super cool. And I really want it. I really want it. But then I saw some dude on the Alba Optics page in a story wearing a Hoka top that had a like sort of like a, let's say, like a turtleneck that went up here and it came to like the bottom of his eyes, and it was fleece, and I went, well, I've never seen that. And then I seen it the other day and I said, I gotta buy that, because I can't buy the Satisfy one, but I'll buy something pretty similar to it. And I just picked that up, so I'm waiting for that next week, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like in comparison to the Ghost Fleece.
Number of things coming through in the chat. We see them all. We're clocking them. I'm trying to keep a straight face at some of that stuff. There's no Skechers gear will be seen on me at any point ever. And Pat, also, I can't really comment and say Sky. I don't own any of the stuff. I know it's got a pretty good reputation, but looks wise, it doesn't really float my boat. Ricky, any experience on that?
Yeah, so the guy I work with over here in Ireland on the retail side of things, like Say Sky is one of his brands. So I haven't seen that jacket, but like I think Say Sky is really cool brand. You know what I mean? They do stuff. Uh, they used to do some cool things where their slogans were a little bit offensive and a little bit bold and daring, and they were going towards that sort of as well, that fashion side of things as well as performance. So they do some cool stuff. I just haven't seen that jacket firsthand though. Their gear is good. It is good, and look, it's not cheap either. Like, so it's another bit of that kind of style with performance, but it's not coming into the league as like same league as Satisfy or anything like that, I don't think. But it's good gear. It's very good gear.
Yeah, yeah. Look, just not my vibe, but yeah, I'm sure it's good. Moving on, and let's tackle ultra running's Queen of Trolls, Camille Herron. She surfaced with an Instagram post. Something. Let me just read some of it. I'm unable to
Ah,
comment
it's
uh,
shocking.
on recent events for reasons beyond my control. Blah 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 blah. Commitment to fairness, accountability, and upholding world athletic rules remain unwavered. Oh my goodness. Who
Yeah.
cares? Who
Who
actually
cares?
cares? Like, why don't you address, the main thing that everyone wants you to just come out and say, hey, I edited Wikipedia, I'm a knob.
Mm.
Sorry about that. Can we move on and get back to running? But until she addresses that, that's all we're going to think about whenever she posts anything online. What do you think?
When I saw she posted something, I immediately went, "Oh, is this it? Like, is this it? Is this what she's going to talk about? Is she going to give an apology? Is she going to give a reason? Is she going to have any accountability?" No, she talks about something like that, and like you just did, over my head, I was like, "That's a waste of time. Nobody cares." I definitely didn't care. I was completely zoned out of what she was referencing or whatever, because I was thinking, you didn't. That's your first post in I don't know how long. That's her first post in months. Like, and she said nothing about nothing.
And for reference as well, I can't even see the
Patrick.
stuff because I'm blocked. Camilla blocked me about I think about a year and a half ago because I made some comment about Courtney Dauwalter being the greatest ultra trail runner of all time. And if she's not the best, she doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So I've been blocked. And I only found out because somebody screenshotted her post and stuck it into the Trail Talk WhatsApp. So I can't remember who did that, but keep them keep them coming so we can keep up with what she's doing.
Yeah. Some of the chat coming in on the live here. Some of it's very funny. Some of it's very funny. Can't repeat any of it, lad. Sorry.
Not repeatable, but we agree with all of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Next up, we have those listening that don't know. We have I think it's the only league in Fantasy Free Trail. So the Trail Talk League, link in bio, go and hit it afterwards. We've selected various races that are of interest to us, but obviously we have Black Canyon this weekend. Ricky, Black
Black
Canyon
Yes,
100K,
Black Canyons.
not
Yes, yes.
Canyons, Black Canyon
That's
100K.
next. That's next. That's next. Yeah. Yeah.
This weekend, it's always a stacked race. Great start to kind of, it's almost like a start to the North American scene as well. First year as a World Trail Major. Jamil Corey, our Viper race, he'd be hopping around or limping around
Limp.
with his free burritos all weekend. Free trail are going to be there. There's some content around it. It's a golden ticket race. So what we would like you guys to do is go and join the league. Let's compete. Let's have a bit of fun about it. And why don't we dig into maybe our top three picks from the
Oh,
men's
okay.
and the women's side? So let's kick things off with the women. Who have you got? What do you want to talk about? Hit me some details here.
Yeah, a lot of hype behind this race. I like this race. It's fun. It's like the first race to kick the season off. I don't care if it's part of the UTMB World Series or if it's part of World Trail Majors. It's a stacked race. And it's like everybody's going for a golden ticket. It's super exciting. And my top three picks in the women's field, even though I'd love to see Heather get the podium or get the win, I think that Heather's going to take it out super hard and probably go a little bit too hard, trying to outrun everybody early on. And she's going to pay for it, I think, in the end. And I think she's going to hold on to third. So Heather Jackson in third. I'm
So
going for.
uh,
Uh,
easy now, easy. Don't get ahead of yourself. So you're picking Heather Jackson in third. You don't think that she can learn off of that season last year because she went out. too hard last year,
Mm.
and I forget what her finishing position, but she was at the front, and then she was at the front. So you don't think a year of experience and she's gonna come back and you see a
No,
better result?
I see I see her just doing what she does. That's what she does, man. She just goes hard. She likes to put a gap on people early on and then try to hold on. I don't see her as that kind of a runner that's going to sit back and try to be tactical and then wait until the end and then make a move. I just don't think it's her style. I don't think she'd enjoy racing like that. Heather's all gas. So I just look like I could be so wrong here, and she could have the stuff to hold on. But I mean, 100K is a long way to go, and this is a fast race, and I just think that she'll just burn out near the end. I hope she doesn't, but I just think she will because my other two picks, I just think they're a little bit more experienced, and I think they'll just nip her near the end. Over that last aid station.
Let's
So
do number
number
two.
two.
Yeah, let's go.
Abby Hall is number two for me. Yeah, I think Abby is really, really good, really intelligent runner as well. She's fast, but she's also very strategic, and I think she'll bide her time. The way you're saying, like, do you not think Heather would race? No, but that's definitely the way that Abby would race. Abby could actually be in like fifth or sixth throughout the whole day, and then you'll just see her move into like second or first. You just never know. But I have her at second. I think that Abby's going to hold on and get second, and then get a golden ticket.
Interesting pick. I love it whenever our picks are totally separate,
Mm.
totally different, because I'm
So
not
your 3 and 2 is totally different, right?
totally different. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
then let's hear your 3 and 2, and then we'll see who we win. Then we'll see who our first is. So who's your third?
I have MK Sullivan coming in third place. I think she she's quick enough to go out early and lead it from the front. That's she's just a fast runner. This type of course that will suit her. She did well last year, but not for the full not for the full race. I think what she did last year as well at Canyons, the other one with a canyon in the name. She was second only to Katie Scheid at the 100K distance. So, I mean, I've got her in third, but she could go out there and win this race. So
Yeah,
I'm I'm picking MK in third place. And then one of my favorites always does well, usually does better than what people think until now. People are like, well, she's actually really good. They're actually really good. So I'm picking Riley Brady in second place. And
yeah,
again, they could go out and win that race.
yeah. Yeah, I actually have Riley in fourth. I have Riley in fourth. That's where I have, because like I went five in the fantasy free trail, and I went Riley fourth. But like that, she could go and win it. I actually think, like, at the end of this race, those top five women, I think that, like, there won't be any more than like 7 or 8 minutes separating those top five women. I don't think there'll be any more. That they'll all be so close to each other.
All right, let's hear it. Who's winning the race?
Yeah, your number three is my number one, so I think MK Sullivan is going to do it. I just think this is a race that suits her down to the ground. I think that she's going to have a really good day, and I would be super excited if she pulls it off. Yeah, I
Right.
think she's class.
I think she's going to run it from the front.
I don't know if she'll run it right from the front, but I think there'll be a lot of two in the front. I think that if Heather goes out hard, which I think she will, I think MK will go with her. She'll go with her. Yeah. Or
Interesting.
maybe not with her, but she won't be. I mean, she'll be within a minute of Heather, because I just think that Heather will go off. I think that first 20 miles, because that first 29 miles is like almost net downhill to that aid station, and Heather will fly that, but so will they all. So will all of them. They'll all fly, and then because they ran that so fast, then it'll just start to hurt. Like, so, a lot of those runners will be hurting from 20 miles in.
Yeah, there'll be a big group. would be a big group in the first 20. Well, I'm picking the Chinese runner Lin Shen for the win
Yeah.
because you know what the Chinese runners are like, and they all just gun it. They race hard. She had good race last year in a number of different places. She was sitting fourth in Western States and pulled out as well. So she'd be going back, wanting to go back to Western States, and so she'll be racing for a ticket. And
Yeah.
I just think, coming back uh, with that goal in mind, I think she's going to be strong enough to take the win.
And, and I think you're probably right as well. But it's so interesting because every name that we both said is capable of winning that race. Like, on their day, every one of those in our top three, like that's six, I think six different runners, whatever, five or six different runners, every one of them are well able to win that race on their day. Like, so I think the women's race, I actually think is going to be a better race than the men's race. Yeah. Yeah.
And always great coverage as well. We'll see some drone shots, some follow cams. I don't think we've seen any follow e-bikes yet, but I'd love to see e-bikes on that course. That's the type of stuff
I,
that would make for
I
great
did
content.
though. I think we talked about this before. Something to do with laws
Or
and
some
and
permit
like
issue, yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah, that doesn't allow for e-bikes or something like that. But also, there was another thing, like, because remember last year it it was really shit weather. It was like really cold and really frosty, and they had to like hold back the start. So like there was a load of runners like finishing in the dark, like, and none of them had head torches or anything. So I think this year is looking like it's going to be a lot warmer. So I don't think to be an issue with the start of the race either. Also, like that's a big issue. Is I think it's going to be a pretty hot race. Like, we'd say last year it was cold and it was very muddy and very wet, whereas in this year is a lot drier and a lot warmer. So I think you're going to see some seriously fast times.
Yeah, no, agree. And will you watch the stream?
I'll do my best. I'll be in and out because look, it's hard to watch it all, and like I've like 40K on the cards tomorrow, so like it'll be in dribs and drabs. It all depends on the time difference, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah. All right. Before we move on to the men's field, I gotta give a shout out to A Station Fireball for putting out a great pre-race blog for the men and women's field over on Substack. So check that out. Check him out on Instagram. The meme guy, the stats guy, definitely worth a look. And I think my fantasy future again could be stronger just from his input. So I'm happy to see him on Substack this year. Just um, a recent joiner there. Onto the men's race. So I'll give you my top two, or my third and second place, and then I'll hear from you. So in third place, I have Craig Hunt. I
Oh,
I
yeah.
think just reading some of my notes here that I've made, he has a 100K PB of 6:55. Okay, sharp. That was from the Hoka Carbon Project from a few years ago, whenever Jim was going after some of those records. So I think he could be one of those guys that just has a breakthrough race here. It's not an overly technical course, very runnable course, and 6:55 for the 100K is scary quick.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm as well. I'm as well. Before you go to number two, I'm as well say my third and your third are the exact same. Yeah, and for pretty much the same reasons because the man is just seriously quick. It's ridiculous. Like, yeah, it'd be
Pat,
interesting to see though, like how he does on this course in this field. Yeah, but I do definitely think that this man is on the up and up and up and up. Yeah.
Pat in the chat is saying Eli Hemming for the win. Well, actually, I've got Eli Hemming in second place because I
Yeah.
picked him for the win at JFK and he didn't win it. So I'm going to keep him in second place. I think he could well win the race. He's probably, he's one of the top 50, 60K runners in America, in the world.
Yeah.
And at the 100K, let's see. But no doubt he'll be trying to win it. He'll be right at the front, but I'm picking Eli Hemming in second. Uh, Anyone in the chat who has their picks in on Fantasy Free Trail or is just has their own top three in their own head, drop it in the chat. Let us know who you're thinking. Ricky, who you've got for second and third?
Yeah. So I have second, set ruling for second. I just think that he's 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 solid. I think he's going to have a really good race, and I just think he's got the stuff to do it this year. You know, I just have a good feeling about him this year, and I think I really want. Maybe I just want him to finish second. You know, I definitely don't think he can win it, and he may fall short and actually end up finishing third or fourth. But I'm going with him finishing in second.
It
That's
sounds like you're picking from the heart, not from the head.
Yeah, it's more so for that. Like I of course I have a very soft spot for Seth. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so who's taking the win for you?
I I picked what is probably the favorite, but I'm picking Jupiter Carrera, Casas,
Yeah.
the Mexican, burst onto the scene last year at this very race,
Mm.
and I think he's going to come through and win it this year. Interesting, also his brother is racing in the 50K. He and I think from Liam's blog post, his brother has like 4 or 5 Sears and L finishes,
Yeah.
all like low 3 hour finishes, like quick. So I think he's gonna come through and win the race. Who have you got?
Yeah, do you know what? Like I picked Seth, right? But I was so torn between Jupiter and Seth. But because I just have such a soft spot for Seth, I was thinking, yeah, Jupiter could probably finish second and probably beat Seth. But it's like Tim Tolleson. I have such a soft spot for Tim. Like, you know, only I can't put Tim in the top three. You know, I actually had Tim down in, I think, in fourth for me. Yeah, he's in fourth for me. But that's just because, like, I think I have like a man crush on Tim Donaldson. I think that's
It's
why
the
I'm like,
hair. It's the
yeah,
hair.
it's just good. He's a good guy. I've met him a few times, and he's really nice fella, you know. And he's a fantastic athlete, like, and he's been training really hard for this race. He's been doing some very specific work, but I just don't see it. Like, the man. I think he's turning like I'm 42, but I think Tim is turning 40 this year. You know, he has a lot of miles in the legs, and I just don't think that he's that. I just think it's a bit too fast. I just think it's going to be like Jesus. Like most of these guys that are going to be winning this race or finishing in the top three are all, you know, like probably 220 and below marathon runners. Like, you know, they're rapidly fast. Like, you
I
know.
think you guys, there's something wrong with your head. Pat as well. He's got Tim in fourth. I don't need like. I think Tim's there for the vibes. He doesn't have he doesn't have the leg speed to top five in this race. I think he'll get he'll obviously be in the top 10, but he's there for the crack. He's there because this is the place to be this weekend for
Mhm.
in ultra running. So yeah, he's not
The
stepping on
heart
any game step.
wants what the heart wants. That's kind of what it is. For me, number one is Eli. I'm definitely going with Eli because I think he is the best runner, not just in America, but I think like he's one of the best in the world at that 50, 60K distance. Like he's proved it, he's shown us before what he can do. Like so, and I think he can lead it from the front as well. I think he's got the balls to take it out hard and just make it stick, you know. He's he's pretty frightening, I'd say, to go up against because I think he'll do whatever it takes to win a race, you know. So yeah, I think Eli is going to take the win. I know it's his first 100K, and I know people are saying, yeah, there's a big difference between 60K or 50K and 100K. Yeah, but when you're fast, you're fast. You know what I mean? You're fast over 50K. You can be fast over 100K. That distance isn't going to worry him 1 second. Like, you know, and that man is running 100-mile weeks, 190K weeks. You know what I mean? for week after week after week. 100K race, it's not a big deal. Like,
All right. Interesting. Let's let's see how it all pans out. Check back next Friday. We will see who won on Fantasy Free Trail, and I'm sure I'm going to beat you. I picked with
oh,
my head. You picked with your
I
heart.
I'm so crap at this. It's not even funny. I'm really bad. I'm as bad at this as I am, as good as I am at getting lost in
I was
race.
going to say,
That's
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Look,
Yeah.
this is the longest Chill Talk Live we've ever done. We're normally very strict on the 30-minute time limit, but I let it get away with it there a little bit. I was having too much fun. For everyone that's viewing now, head over to the link in bio, join the Trail Talk um, Fantasy League, get your picks in. Let's see who comes out on top next week. Also, you can catch up on the show on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all the usual places. If you want to hear the banter and talk a bit of crack about trail running, gear, nutrition, racing, all that good stuff. Also, link in bio for the Trail Talk WhatsApp community. Come over and introduce yourselves and let us know what you're into, favorite shoes, and all that good stuff. And for me, everyone, have a great weekend. Ricky, I'll see you soon.
Peace.